The following is a special presentation from Cole Sportz. Hi everybody, I'm Gold Johnson, and I just want to take this quick moment to say thank you for downloading this episode or listening to this episode on radio. Thank you for taking the time to just simply sample anything that I do or anything Cole Sportz brings forward to the public. I really appreciate all of you, and I appreciate the talent that you're going to hear donating their time to make this product better. And I endlessly have a lot of gratitude toward all of the talents that you're about to hear. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
Oh, big boy. Oh, good spender. Hey, you're looking for a good time?
Well, yeah, I am. I don't know what to do around here. I don't really frequent this area so much.
Oh, don't worry. I will take good care of you. Why don't we step this way? Yeah, why don't we step into my car? Yeah.
You're so nice. So, what's your name?
Orchid.
Orchid. Well, yeah, I'm Robert. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah.
It is. Pleasure to meet you, too. What do you do for a living?
Well, I own the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. They just won the Super Bowl. Have you not seen?
Well, I'm not a sports fan. I'm a fan of other things.
Oh, I think I know what you're a fan of. Yeah. You see, I'm friends with Drake. Drake frequents Florida often. Yeah.
Oh, so what do you want to do? You want to do it?
Oh, yeah, I do want to do it because I do it and do it and do it well.
Oh, you're such a cad. What exactly do you want to do?
Well, I just want to have a good time. I just want to unwind and relax. It's like what my friend Drake says. You only live once. That's my motto, N-word, YOLO.
Oh, silly man. Silly man. So, wait a minute. How old are you?
I'm 77.
77? How is a 77-year-old well-versed in the rap game? Drake?
And that's not the only person I know in the game. I mean, I'm friends with Rick Ross. I had to prove it to Rose that I listened to his stuff on Pandora all the time. Santorini, Greece, idols become rivals. I had to listen to those things because, well, that's what my team primarily listens to. And, quite frankly, when my wife died, it was the team that galvanized me, and that's what they listen to.
Oh, no, don't cry. No. This is a happy occasion. It's a happy occasion.
That's what my hip hop friends tell me too, and they've helped me go on.
That's wonderful. So, well, how much are you worth?
I'm worth $6.6 billion. Well, at least that's what Forbes says, but shh. I'm with Trump, and I'm hiding some other monies in Cayman Islands. So I got more money than that. But I report $6.6 billion.
Yeah, so $6.6 billion. Wow. So you really are a big spender. I thought so, looking all dressed to the nines and stuff, and you're just here to unwind and relax.
Yeah, I am, It's like what Ross said. I'm the magnificent with a sensational style.
Oh my gosh. Oh, silly man. Oh my. See, Rick Ross wasn't the first to say that. Yes, Special Ed was. Yeah, it makes me think you're Special Ed. But that's besides the point. So, how much are you willing to pay for this massage?
Well, I'm also friends with Lil Wayne. And, he he with that syrup drinking. Oh gosh, I love the way he flows. His penmanship is just so on point. But with the massage, I'm willing to pay a milli.
Stop. Oh my gosh, you're so silly.
Yeah, well, I have to keep the mood light, and it's wonderful to meet people like you.
Well, yeah, okay, well, let me play like Cuba Gooding Jr. in that movie. I can't remember the movie, but yeah, I'll be like Cuba Gooding Jr. Show me the money.
Oh, good Lord. I thought you were going to ask me a difficult question. Here's the money right here. And I know that you're a big fan of Cardi B. And I danced with her on Super Bowl week. Yeah, she's a fun woman. I like her. Yeah, you're going to be like her. And you're going to have bands in the coop, busting through the roof.
Oh my. Wow. Can I feel it?
Sure.
Oh my, this is more money than I've ever seen in my life. Wow. There was another Lil Wayne song. Yeah, Bobby Valentino sang it. What was it?
Oh, you mean Mrs. Officer. Yeah, I love the hook. Wee.
Those are the magic words. All right, boys. Time to get him.
What are you? Freeze! What did you just do to me? Hey, that set me up. This is the moment Robert knew he up.
The stars are out. The atmosphere is electric. The party is here. The annual Sports Awards show is back in style. Welcome to the 4th annual VIP Honors presented by Cole Sportz. Hello, everyone. I'm Kelsey Nicole Nelson, host of the award-winning Listen In with K&N on Fox Sports Radio show and podcast, a sideline reporter for the Big East Digital Network, a host of the Sports Smarts podcast for the National Sports Media Association, and the newly radio and podcast professor of Doral College, located outside of Miami, teaching media and radio to the next generation of young sports journalists. I am also on the Sports Task Force mentoring program with NABJ Sports, basically a woman of many titles. But it's so great to be here. And of course, I'm standing alongside my girl, my fellow Fox Sports reporter and radio host, and Renee Washington. How are you doing, girl?
I'm doing good, Kels. I can't complain. The Super Bowl is around the corner, but we're also in the award season, and this event is one not to miss. For those who are not aware, this is a recap of the biggest sporting events within the past year. Events like the Nationals winning the World Series, or the U.S. women's national team claiming gold in the World Cup. That's all ahead tonight. Just thinking about how this event has gone down the last 2 years, they were insane.
And it will continue to be insane this year. All right, here's the rundown. The festivities will begin with the master of ceremonies, Mr. Cole Johnson himself, of course. He'll talk with the crowd.
Talk with the crowd? Or do you mean have fun with them? I mean, last year he mentioned Tom Brady, Nancy Pelosi, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders all in the same breath. Tom is so old. Nancy Pelosi was his high school sweetheart.
You make a good point, Renee. The year before, he linked the NFL owners with Diddy's failed attempt to buy the North Carolina Panthers.
I think Cole did a horrible version of the Harlem Shake. Well, after he addresses the crowd, the award ceremony will start with the episode of the year. Everything from Tristan Thompson to Magic Johnson to even Daryl Morey will be featured there.
And then it continues with the segment of the year, the Ball family.
You mean we didn't escape them last year?
No, unfortunately we didn't, Renee. The Ball family will be mentioned along with Andrew Luck and Antonio Brown.
You know, Cole calls him Antonio Clown, right?
Girl, I'm just glad he no longer plays for the Steelers. Now my Ravens don't have to worry about him anymore.
Then we go in as the Going In of the Year award will follow. Events such as the Odell Beckham trade to the Browns, the NFL refs being shady, and
Load management. Who would have thought that term would have dominated NBA talk? Well, the champions personified of the year will be contested. People such as Tiger Woods, D'Angelo Williams, Joe Burrow, Naomi Osaka, and Coco Gauff are up for the awards in this category.
Naomi and Coco was this year's U.S. Open?
Yes, it was.
Touching moment. Then we get serious for a minute as the Upon Further Review of the Year award will be decided. Up for the award are the NHL, the NFL, false rape accusers, and Lamar Jackson.
Nice, and the soon-to-be NFL MVP is up for another award. We'll get our laughs going as the Skit of the Year will be contested. You'll hear the nominees play all throughout the show. No one was off limits as Robert Kraft, Mark Cuban, Roger Goodell, and former Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett.
The clappers gone. Anything involving Cowboy slander, I'm all for it and all about it. You know, I'm all about the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. The final award will be the Dolt of the Year, as just like the Skit of the Year, you'll also hear the Dolt of the Year nominees play throughout the program. Myles Garrett, Tristan Thompson, and others will be mentioned.
Of course, a special VIP will be awarded tonight as the VIP of the Year will be presented. Plus, there will be a special tribute during the show as well. There's a lot in store for tonight. Are you ready?
I am. Just seeing the people mingling toward the theater is getting me hyped. The presenters of the various awards will come from the podcasting and sports media field.
Like us.
Like us. Yes, it is going to be nice getting acquainted with some and reacquainted with others as we get ready to enjoy ourselves.
I believe fun will be had by all, and it looks like the show is ready to begin. On the other side, it will be the ceremony. The VIP honors is ready to go, and we will rejoin you once the ceremony ends.
We certainly will. For Kelsey, I'm Renee. Stay tuned for the 4th annual VIP honors.
Next is the shark, Mark Cuban, TV co-host of Shark Tank, and is bidding for the presidency of the United States. He's asking for no money, but he's asking for your vote. Hi, Sharks. Well, today I'm here to show that I am a viable candidate for the presidency of the United States. Yeah, I really believe I can be that. Simply because, well, you got the dope in office right now in the White House, and I know I can run it better than he can because I'm a better businessman. I mean, that chump has filed for bankruptcy I don't know how many times. The next time I file for bankruptcy will be the first. So I know I could take care of America's money. So we don't have to worry about me taking America's money. Now, I will say this about 45. The fact that he isn't taking a dime of the presidential salary, I will do that too. I mean, I will save America money. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the fame. But I'm in it because I want to serve the American people. And so that's why I'm not asking for money. I'm just asking for your vote. So will you do that for me, Sharks? Wait. All right, Damon here. So what are you going to do with black business? And are you going to do anything with reparations? Reparations? Get out of here, man. Look, pull yourself up by the bootstraps like you did with FUBU. I mean, no handouts are going to be in the Cuban presidency. No, No, you build yourself up. You got many black business owners who built themselves up. That's what you do. Forget handouts. That's not happening here. Oh, you mean just like you're shaking a hand with a black boy with a hoodie? Nah, that was taken out of context. No, it was not taken out of context, Mark. That came out your big fat mouth. Anyway, continue your bid. Well, as I was saying, look, black people, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And as far as reparations, look, slavery's been done 150 years. What makes you think that you deserve anything? Well, because the Japanese have gotten reparations. I'll refer that to my advisor. Any more questions? Yeah, Mr. Wonderful here. Since I'm a Canadian, are you going to tighten the borders like President Trump is doing, or are you going to have a more relaxed version of immigration? What's your take? Well, I'm glad you asked that, Kevin. My take is simple. Look, I have nothing with foreign players in the game. I mean, just look at my team. Look at my team. I had a Hall of Fame to be player on my team over 20 years. And now I have a new player who is coming up in Luka Doncic. So when it comes to foreign players, I had those two, then Steve Nash, amongst others, JJ Barea. I mean, I believe in opening the borders to everybody. Yeah, Mark, we understand that, but do you believe in legally or illegally coming through the process of it all? Well, I haven't really come to a conclusion with that yet. I just know with my team, I'm like, look, all you need to do is know how to play. The green card stuff we'll take care of, but I'll take that up with my advisor. Lori?
Yes, Mark. So, what are you going to do with taxes? Are you going to help the businesses or hurt them?
Clarify, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, you say you're a businessman. Normally with businesses, you try not to regulate them so much so that they can help the business flourish. Because if you were to regulate like Democrats normally do, then you tend to bog them down. So what is your stance on businesses?
Well, since I own businesses myself, of course I'm going to help businesses out. You know, I probably am going to give tax breaks to businesses. I mean, I've profited from them. So why shouldn't another business profit from them?
Good. Thank you.
Any other? All right, Barbara.
Well, what are you going to do with senior citizens? I got to know this one.
What do you mean what I'm going to do with senior citizens? I'm just going to throw them out in South Florida and then forget about them. I mean, y'all want warm weather. Y'all want to be like the Golden Girls. Why don't you just do that?
Thank you.
Well, that's my platform, and all I got to ask is, can I get your votes?
Well, Barbara here, and I'll start. You know, you say that you're for the black man pulling up by the bootstraps, being self-reliant and loose on immigration, but you're hard on senior citizens. So on that reason, I'm out.
Now, you said that you would actually be good with businesses. That's good. The bad news is the rest of the stuff I don't like. And I quite frankly don't like you anyway. So for that reason, I should say for those reasons, I'm out.
Look, the way that you are so nonchalant about black people, I'm not liking, man, because you don't really care. You just want the office. I'm just going to be straight up 100 with you. You just want to sit in the office and just be high off the hog. Well, you know what? Not on my watch. I'm out. Oh, Lord, no. And that leaves me, Mr. Wonderful. And I have a deal for you. Yeah, here's the deal. You will get my vote as the president of the United States, but you will have to put me on as your vice president. What do you say? Yeah, I have a counter offer for you, Kevin. Yeah, how about I deport you back to Canada and I still run for the United States? Oh, I'm so sorry. You're dead to me. Be gone. I'm out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Comey Media Incorporated, in conjunction with Cole Sports, proudly brings to you the 4th annual VIP Honors. And now, the host of the show, the creative director, and the man that is behind
Go Sports!
That man, your man, the illustrious tour guide of all things sports, Cole Jasen.
Thank you so much, everybody, and welcome to the 4th annual VIP Honor. It's such a thrill sign. It's such a thrill sign. Well, you already know that I must wish my mother-in-law a happy birthday because this show always happens around this time of year, and this time of year always is around her birthday. So I'm directing this to you, mother-in-law and mother-in-love. I just want you to know that I love you and that I hope that your celebration is a good one because you deserve to have. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm just so glad you're here. I'm overjoyed right now. Now, I have a serious question to ask all of you. What it do, baby? Thank you, Kawhi Leonard, for that nugget. Everyone got here safe? Yeah? Good. Because I was hoping the NFL referees weren't directing traffic outside. I mean, considering what happened in last year's NFC Championship game, I was counting on collisions in the street since they seemed to miss them on the field. Congratulations to the New England Patriots. They tied. They tied the Steelers for the most Super Bowl championships with 6, and they solidified themselves as America's team. You can boo them all you want. America loves winners. You all love to talk about them because it's at the tip of your tongue every time NFL season rolls around. And as for the Cowboys, they are a picture of mediocrity. Isn't that right, Jason Garrett? a little later. After the Super Bowl, the focus was toward the NBA. We got introduced to a new term called load management. The term sounds like a poorly named porno flick from the 1970s. And the man who was the recipient of said term? LeBron James, who says he doesn't even practice such a thing. He talks more out of both sides of his mouth than Kellyanne Conway. LeBron gets back from his groin injury from Christmas 2018 in the early part of February last year. And at the end of the month, he said he was going to, quote, activate playoff mode, close quote. The playoff mode activation was just as effective as Beto O'Rourke's presidential bid. Or better yet, Marianne Williamson's. So when the Lakers were eliminated from the playoffs, LeBron sat down for the rest of the year. Memo to Bronsexuals. LeBron was able to play, but he sat. That is what you call load management. Or as how you see it, your king sitting on his royal throne. In baseball, we saw Manny Machado sign for 10 years, $300 million with the Padres, and then went into the witness protection program. Bryce Harper signed for 13 years and $330 million with the Phillies, then forgot to hit all of a sudden. Then the Angels' Mike Trout signed a 13-year extension for $430 million. He even won the AL MVP last year, but his season was like the proverbial question, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Plus, Carlos Beltran's niece is passing HGH rumors about him. Anyway, congratulations to them. I'm glad they got their money. The NBA playoffs was something else. I mean, we saw the Bucks shoot out and dominate the first two rounds in the East. In the West, we saw an up-and-coming team, the Clippers, we'll mention them a little later, take the top-seeded Warriors to 6 games. Then we saw Joel Embiid look like he channeled Nancy Kerrigan after their epic 7-game series against the Raptors. I have opinions about Embiid, but I'll leave that alone. The Rockets and Warriors met up again in the playoffs, and the same result happened. The Warriors bounced the Rockets in 6. However, in Game 5, Kevin Durant looked like he tore his Achilles. He came back in Game 5 against the Raptors in the NBA Finals, and then we knew he tore his Achilles. I haven't witnessed something break up that fast since Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. Durant is healing up quite nicely as he went elsewhere. But congratulations to the Raptors for beating the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals and then beating the Warriors in 6 games to claim their first ever Larry O'Brien trophy. And it will be their last. Well, hey, that's not my fault. Kawhi, the Finals MVP, he decided he wanted to go back home. I mean, can't fault the man for that. And speaking of home, let me congratulate the United States women's national team. They won the gold in World Cup soccer play, and they were considered brash, unladylike, sore winners. Or as I'd like to call them, better than the men's soccer team. I haven't seen so many unpatriotic people since NFL fans turned their back on Colin Kaepernick. We saw Andy Ruiz create the greatest upset in boxing since Buster Douglas 29 years earlier when he TKO'd Anthony Joshua. He had a 6-month siesta and fiesta. Fought Joshua again in Saudi Arabia. Only this time Luis left his fight at customs. Joshua became heavyweight champion again. Now, we will continue with the "he's ducking me" comments coming from Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I'm glad boxing has returned to normal. But the summer pointed to the NBA draft and free agency. To see New York Knicks fan hope for the #1 overall draft pick broke my heart. It really did. The team was bold in thinking they'd get Kyrie from Boston, Durant from Golden State, and Zion Williamson, the Duke standout, in the draft. Once they drew #3 overall, they went 0-4-3. Durant and Kyrie went to Brooklyn. Zion got drafted by the Pelicans, and the Knicks went back to being the team that circles the NBA draft. It was almost as bad as LeVar Ball pronouncing the Pelicans to win the NBA championship after his son Lonzo was traded to New Orleans from the Lakers. Well, Knicks fan, you always have Charles Barkley, even if James Dolan wants to toss him out of Madison Square Garden. It was the Kawhi Leonard sweepstakes. The Raptors were praying he'd stay there. Lakers fan was sure he was going there. They would cite these erroneous sources saying that he was as good as a Laker. Then, in a power move, Kawhi got the Clippers to trade for Paul George, and that made him sign with the Clippers. With Lakers fan, they were as distraught as Robert Kelly when he was being interviewed by Gayle King. Y'all killing me with this. Oh, man. What was really bad for the NBA was not free agency. No, it was China. Some of you may know, some of you may not. The NBA has had a relationship with China for almost 2 decades. It is hands down their biggest market in the world. But when Daryl Morey, the general manager of the Rockets, decided to side with Hong Kong on Twitter, it all exploded. The NBA tried to kill Morey's damage in China faster than the Tampa Bay Lightning appearance in last year's Stanley Cup playoffs. Can you say got swept in the first round? President's Cup and then it gets swept in the first round. I digress. Congratulations to the Blues for winning the Stanley Cup last year. Well, at least I said congratulations to a hockey team. In baseball, we saw the Yankees win over 100 games. The Dodgers win over 100 games. And the Astros win over 100 games. The Yankees and Astros collided in the ALCS, and the Astros beat the Yankees 4-2 to go on to the World Series. The Dodgers, on the other hand, had a 3-1 lead in Game 5 of the National League Divisional Series before being bounced by the Nationals. Then the Nationals swept the Cardinals in the NLCS and then beat the Astros in the World Series as neither team won a home game. They had goodwill, did the Nationals, until Kurt Suzuki donned a MAGA hat and the president himself decided to fondle Suzuki, hugging him from behind. I didn't know if I was watching the White House honoring a team or a bad homosexual romance novel come to life. I mean, it was shameful.
Now, this is all fake news, Cole.
What?
Cole Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
I'm the president. Be respectful. Be respectful.
Is that right, Mr. President? Okay. Then start with why you hugged a grown man from behind and fondled his chest with your hands. That wasn't fake?
It's very, very simple. Number one, I thought it was Joe Biden or possibly Melania. I was trying to show Melania my favorite Joe Biden because Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe, he likes to touch you from the back, and he's very, very strange. So I'm going to, it's not no big deal. No big deal. I will dismantle him like I did Hillary. I won big over Hillary. I beat the pantsuit off of Hillary, and I'm going to beat the dentures out of Joe Biden. But Kurt Suzuki, wonderful American, wonderful Jap. A nice Jap guy. We called them the Japs back in the day because it's when America was great. America was great then. The Japs and the coloreds were in their place and everything was good.
Melania?
All foreigners look alike to me. Let's be honest. Everyone knows. Everyone. Listen, everyone. All foreigners look alike.
Kurt Suzuki is an athlete. Melania is a Russian stripper pole. Anyway, why are you serving fast food at White House dinners?
Fast food? Are you sure that this happened?
With all that fast food, you made me pass gas on just the sight of those burgers.
You're trying to be a smart aleck. You're trying to be a smart aleck here. A smart aleck. Nicole Johnson, fake news once again.
And I thought you were a smart individual, sir.
I'm totally off script right now, but when I'm off script, that's when you love me the most. I'm the best off script.
Then why are you squinting toward my teleprompter?
I thought that was just another Russian mail order bride.
Well, that explains it. So, all right, what about your impeachment? How do you feel about that?
What we should be talking about is the Central Park Five, why these guys, why were they in jail their whole lives? Obviously criminals. And the impeachment is Nancy Pelosi, her high heels far too tight. She should loosen them up a little bit. All a witch hunt. Like the Salem, worse than the Salem witch trials. Worse by 1,000 times. Your ratings are going to be very, very high this week because I'm always getting high ratings. But I mean, those simpletons in the Democratic swamp, which I drained it. I've drained the swamp. It's already drained, but there's still a few lousy liberals there. And the House impeached me, but they're fools. Fools for doing it. They have no idea what they're doing. It's going to come back to haunt them because the Senate will vindicate me. I am more innocent than innocent. I'm the most innocent person ever. The vote will come in November. We've drained the swamp like I said we would in 2017, but then the swamp came back. Just like ISIS, and they're trying to overtake me, just like ISIS, but it won't happen. It won't happen again because I have Franklin Graham and Greg Laurie and all the evangelicals in my pocket. I have NASCAR fans in my pocket. Jeff Gordon, true American, true hero, bigger hero than John McCain. I prefer my heroes alive. And I see the crowd, my African Americans over there. I have more of those people who vote for me this year. Those people, those black people. I hired 3 new black people to work the service counter at Mar-a-Lago, all named Jerome. Very, very, very good people, great conservatives. They told me, thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you so much, Mr. Trump. They come and they thank me. They say, Mr. Trump, Mr. President Trump, you've kept more promises than you even made. Think about it. I'm the first president ever to keep more promises than I made.
Wow. You are such a train wreck.
Can I have some coffee? Do you have any hot coffee around here?
You know all those nicknames you give people? Lion Ted, Crooked Hillary, Sleepy Joe, Pocahontas. Well, how about a nickname for you? Decrepit Donald.
I knew you were related to that fool Don Lemon. You are in the fake news pot with him. You have gay sex with Don Lemon very often. I know you do. Speaking of men who love me, Kim Jong-un loves me very much. He wrote me beautiful letters, and then we fell in love.
No, sir, I will not accept that slander. Besides, unlike him, I stay sober on broadcast. Now, explain to me that visit you made to Nationals Park for Game 5 in the World Series when the crowd chanted "Lock it up."
The crowd loved me. So it was a warm day, beautiful day. The PA announcer, he called my name. He said, "The 45th president, Donald J. Trump." I stood up and thunderous applause like you've never heard. Just like my crowd size, bigger than Obama's. The applause for me, more than Obama. And great day for America.
That was when you attended the LSU-Alabama game in Tuscaloosa, Mr. President.
Oh, yes. No, you're wrong. But I know I saw lots of Confederate flags, proud Americans flying the proud rebel battle flag that day.
So, Mr. President, in more than 9 months, America will vote again. How good are your chances in getting reelected?
I'll be banning all vapes. All of the vapes are going to be banned. We're going to bomb Iran. We're going to blow them out of the water. And I told you, we're going to keep winning. We're going to keep winning and winning. We're going to win so much, America's going to get tired of it. Well, we've won the past 3 years, and just look at my track record. Wherever I go to stump for the little people in the GOP, I make them kiss my ring, and then they get elected into office. Ron DeSantis, kiss the ring. He's in office. Roy Moore, kiss the ring. He is elected. But there was cheating, keeping Roy Moore from office. Ted Cruz, good old Ted Cruz, my longtime friend, has always loved me. Now he's sitting in his cushy office, not making a difference in Washington like he's been before, getting reelected to senator. I have the MAGA touch. Everything I touch turns to Trump, even the conservatives. CPAC, I am the best. And the correspondence
dinner.
Let's
get Sandman Sims out
terrible
here.
Event.
Yeah, it's time for him to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th President of these United States, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Kelly, one of my favorite voters, he and Kanye, my favorite black people, them and Tucker Carlson. I hear the helicopter coming. The helicopter is coming. Can't you hear it in the back? I always talk better when the helicopter is behind me because that's when you get all of the facts.
Okay, where was I? All right, yeah. Turning our attention back to the NFL. Now, we don't even get to preseason. And Antonio Antonio Brown starts to act the fool. He forces a trade out of Pittsburgh in March. He signs with the Raiders, and things look fine. Then the clown comes up. He doesn't want to go into training, then he does. Then he gathers frostbite on his foot. And then he protests about helmet gear, and he takes that back. And then he protests again about helmet gear and takes that back again. Then he forces his way out of Oakland and gets signed by the Patriots, who, after one game and a sexual harassment claim, dropped him like a bad habit. I'm surprised the Patriots film crew didn't have video footage of Brown being a fool to a woman because they filmed everything else inside. Then, in reading Clown's text, I thought he was auditioning for a new buckwheat role in Saturday Night Live. And now, after he barricaded himself in his house, filming an argument he had with police and dealing with his baby mama, and throwing a bag of candy gummies in the shape of male genitalia toward her, Antonio Brown turned himself into police after a warrant for his arrest was issued. Now, I simply hope somebody throws him a bag of seeds. The Houston Astros were punished for high-tech sign stealing. The Houston Rockets keep blowing 15-point leads. The Houston Texans were up 24-0 to the Chiefs in the AFC divisional round before they got knocked off the playoffs to the tune of 51-31. I mean, their fortunes are almost as bad as the Cowboys' 2019 season. 24 years and counting, Cowboys fan. Okay, Cowboys fan, explain to me why the Cowboys dragged on the firing of Jason Garrett. The whole world knew he was a lame duck midway through the season. I thought we were watching the Trump impeachment proceedings all over again. The Cowboys started hot, they were 3-0, and Cowboys fan was celebrating a Super Bowl trip in September. They finished the season 8-8 and out the playoffs. I guess you can also say the Cowboys' 2019 season was reminiscent of Senator Kamala Harris's presidential bid. And then we get to the NFL Colin Kaepernick saga once again. Both sides were comical here. The NFL rushes out a workout destination in time. Kaepernick didn't trust him and moved the workout to where he wanted it to be. I mean, this is theater of the stupid. The NFL doesn't want Kaepernick because, the Shield would load him up with an incentive-laden contract. Kaepernick really doesn't want the NFL because he's getting more run as a rebel. It's like the two sides were using each other and they didn't like being used by the other. Now I see the Hunter Biden-Ukraine situation much clearer. Race is still at the center of sports coverage, as the 49ers color guy Tim Ryan said, Lamar Jackson's ability to fool defenses so well was because of his skin color. That's like Andrew Yang saying people don't like him because he's Asian. No, Tim. Lamar can fool defenses because he's just that good with the ball fake. And Mr. Yang, people don't like you because you are fake. People were excited to see the Warriors go down with a rash of injuries. Clay injured himself in June, Steph injured himself in November, and with the team having the worst record in the NBA, a lot of people were happy about it. I think this was the feeling we got when Cory Booker dropped out of the presidential race. The Warriors opened a new arena, and they newly sucked. It was as if the Warriors and Lakers flip-flop teams. Oh, no, sorry. No, that's Pete Buttigieg trying to get the black vote. Now, I do feel bad for Oakland. I mean, check this out. They lost the Warriors to San Francisco. They lost the Raiders to Las Vegas. They may lose the A's as well. That area might lose its mind to insanity. No. That would be the whole country if we vote for Bernie Sanders. A lot of great things happened in the NFL this year. Lamar Jackson is the front runner for MVP. Deshaun Watson is an absolute stud. Drew Brees now holds the record for most TD passes. Eli Manning retired from the NFL. And they found a way to minimize the referee botching calls. Yeah. Well, congratulations to the 49ers and Chiefs for making it to this year's Super Bowl. Miami's going to be hot, baby. The last time the 49ers won the Super Bowl was 1995. The last time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl was 1970. And the last time Rudy Giuliani won something was his divorce settlement. on second thought, that was his ex-wives. Oh, congratulations to Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, and Deshaun Jackson on their weddings. See, that was the only way the Eagles wide receivers could get a reception. Now, the one great achievement that has not been mentioned, Jameis Winston. All right. Now get this. He was the only QB in the 2019 season to throw for 5,000 yards. He also made history. Yes, he did. ESPN contacted him, and in the offseason, they're going to film this momentous occasion.
What if I were to tell you? What if I were to tell you that a crab leg stealing quarterback redeemed himself in the best and worst of ways? What if I were to tell you that he believed he balled out this year? What if I were to tell you that with 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, that he's raw? ESPN's 30 for 30 presents Jameis Winston.
Hey! Welcome VIPs to the award show tonight. It's going to be a great show. I'm going to put all my heart into it. Thank you. Why I got to stop giving us these jewels? Anyway, are you having a good time tonight? Are you having a good time tonight, I said? Yeah. All right, well, let's get this show started. Yeah. Our first guest hails from the Metroplex by way of the Bay Area, and he has turned his show BS3 Sportz into BS3 Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, podcast host and now network owner, Ben Sudderth III.
Art can be captured in pieces. If we look everywhere, there's something each of us can claim as beautiful. Then there are those masterpieces where the whole artistry must be appreciated by the total work and not by bits and pieces. Hearing something from beginning to end is a treasure to be appreciated. The nominees of Episode of the Year are the February 23rd, 2019 episode, Craft and Orchids, Tristan Betrayals.
I loved seeing East versus West, and you had the competition of conference pride. Now we're just seeing a pickup game between 24 All-Stars. It's fine, but the game already was that. We don't need to be even more that.
The 2019 April 13th episode, Encore, Magic Surrender.
Irvin, come on, man. You know that there is basically a revolving chair and a revolving door too when it comes to executives. I would have to affect somebody's livelihood in life. You knew this before you took the job.
The April 20th, 2019 episode, Paper Lighting, Tiger Master.
Philadelphia Eagles cornerback Jalen Mills and the former Wizards Devin Robinson. These two were in a nightclub in D.C. when these two decided to get into a tussle. So I'm sure y'all had a girl is mine moment.
The October 12th, 2019 episode, #HandshakeGate, Chinese Democracy.
You would sign these players because they had big names, but the tread on the tire was worn thin. Example number 1, Deion Sanders. Example number 2, Albert Haynesworth. Heck, I could probably say this now. Example number 3, Case Keenum.
The December 7th, 2019 episode, NFC Lease, Slam Dunk Loss.
Was it a blown call? Yes. Did the referee say it was a blown call? After the game, yes. The game crew chief, James Capers, admitted to as such post-game. But what he also admitted as well is that the Rockets are at fault here. Why? Because it looks like they could have challenged the call, but on the court, they did not.
And the episode of the year is the February 23rd, 2019 episode, Kraft and Wilkins. Tristan Betrayals. Congratulations.
Khloe Kardashian. Off the table. I don't particularly care about her in this story. I do care about her as a person too, and I hope that she heals. I mean, now she's the mother of this cheater's child. I don't really particularly care for her in this story either. I do care for her as a person. I hope she heals, and I hope she goes forward, and I hope everything is fine with her, and I hope she finds love. Although she seems to find love in so many different places, such as Lamar Odom, such as French Montana, such as James Harden. I'm not even caring about Kim, Courtney, or Chris. I don't care about them in this story. I do care about them as people. I hope everything is fine with them too. I don't even care about Bruce Jenner. Not Caitlyn, Bruce. I don't care about him wanting to look like Cindy Crawford's drunk mama. I'm not caring about that. I'm only locked and loaded on that 6'10" Sasquatch that seems to not want to stay away from illicit vaginas. Yes, him. I'm not dealing with whatever Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram drama that has heaped upon them. I'm not caring about keeping up with the Kardashians in this story. I'm not caring about if this is hype for their show. I don't care about any of that stuff. I'm only locked and loaded on one figure, one person, the one that stands taller than every other one in this particular story. The one with 2 T's for his initials. The one that at 82 inches has more inches than rebounds for his entire NBA career. The one who has actually gotten famous not for playing basketball, but for being the boyfriend, and now the ex-boyfriend, of a Kardashian.
Which funny bit will walk away with the skit of the year? Plus, the adult of the year will be crowned. Coming up next, who will win the segment of the year? This is the 4th annual VIP Honors.
Whether you're looking for laughs.
Now he's throwing chairs, and he's saying elbow shots, but after throwing them, he's like, you, Marco Scott.
Looking for surprises.
Sports.com, Alex Jones here with no degenerate globalist and prominent cannabis enthusiast, TV.
Wait a second. Or simply looking to get lit with some of your friends.
Let's get ready to smoke it!
Then tune in to To Be Blunt with Peasy, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time live on Facebook and ToBeBluntPodcast.com.
Well, welcome to the White House. It's so wonderful to have you here. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. How does the White House look? It looks Trump-like, right? Yes. Well, you know, we had to spruce it up a little bit, put a little gold everywhere that you see. We have to make the White House great again. Have many seats. This is for you guys, the Washington Capitals, the hometown hockey players, winning the Stanley Cup, and you're making a stand for America. It's wonderful that we have players who want to make sure that they stand for America and support America. We have these ridiculous teams like the Warriors who want to announce before they even win a championship they're not coming. And those bums, the Patriots, they're bums. Although I do like Kraft, he's a good guy. But I hate the Patriots now. Bigly, mind you. I mean, because, well, you know, they don't have class like me. You know, even though I like Robert Kraft, you know, he shouldn't have gotten caught in a spa. I mean, it's ridiculous.
But he's your friend.
Class, gentlemen. Look, you can get away with that away from the camera, but when the cameras and mics are on, you act as though you have class. Now, when the cameras and mics are away, when they're turned off, you can do whatever you want. That's the rule of being a billionaire. I should know. I've been one for over 40 years. But enough about me. Well, never enough about me. I mean, it's always about me. But in this case, it's about you guys. And for the looks of it, I'm so glad that everybody made it.
Mr. President, yeah, unfortunately, there are a few players who decided not to show. Brandon Holtby, and he actually announced that in public. Brett Connolly and Devontae Smith-Pelly. All three announced that they weren't going to join the ceremony.
Fake news. That's fake news. And they are unpatriotic.
Well, Holtby and Connolly are Canadians.
Be that as it may, that's fake news. We're all about celebrating. And we got a celebration for you. Join me, gentlemen, in the great room. Yeah, it's wonderful to have America celebrated with the national team of hockey winning. How appropriate that the Capitals are champions. And they are bold enough to fly in the face of all of these teams that don't want to celebrate with us. And they're here. They're here live and in living color.
Mr. President, yeah. Wendy's, McDonald's, and Burger King all called. They said that they're going to be about 5 minutes late.
That's okay. That's fine. I'm telling you, I spared no expense on the food. And, of course, I spared no expense on the festivities. Well, let's get to it, shall we? It's going to be huge. Huge, like the wall we're going to erect in the U.S.-Mexico border. Huge.
Ladies and gentlemen, one half of Chopping It Up with Q Podcast, Miss V.J. Burton.
A snapshot, a moment in time, a piece of the action. All of these things can describe moments of brilliance, a flash in the pan, or certain flavors someone likes. It could be a word, a phrase, or stream of thought which resonates with you in a personal way. Much like a lyric in a song, the moment captures your imagination like nothing else can. The nominees of Segment of the Year are: From the March 30th, 2019 episode, Lonzo Ball breaks away from Big Baller Brand.
The business that LeVar set up, to me, should have nothing to do with Lonzo. LeVar and Big Baller Brand is LeVar's brand. Lonzo needs to build his own brand. And I'm saying this as the dynamic of having a father and a son. I love my father, and I know my father loves me. But my father knew when I became a man that there was going to have to come a time where I needed to forge my own way in this world.
From the April 20th, 2019 episode, the overall number 1 seed, the Lightning, get swept.
It was a night of horrors 4 straight times for the President's Cup champion, Tampa Bay Lightning. Of course, well, you can win the President's Cup, but that's not the one you want to hoist. You want to hoist that Stanley's Cup, Lord Stanley's Cup.
From the August 31st, 2019 episode, Andrew Luck retires.
Injury rehab reestablishment. Injury rehab reestablishment. Injury rehab reestablishment. He's been doing that for the last 4 years, and he saw in April he was about to do that again. And so he said he made a promise to himself that he wouldn't be in that spot. He wouldn't be in that situation. He would, if he saw himself there, say, adios, I'm gone.
From the September 7th, 2019 episode, the Oakland Raiders / Antonio Clown timeline.
September 6th, 2019. Clown's back in the building. Clown issued an emotional apology, and Clown was announced that he will be back and play for the Raiders.
From the November 30th, 2019 episode, Patrick Patterson calls black women bulldogs.
Quote, so I should settle for a bulldog and act like I'm happy with my life and preach, keep it in your race to the world as if Dr. King didn't fight and die for equality, acceptance, all cultures loving one another and no hate? No thanks. That may be your life, but I don't want that for mine or my family. Color doesn't matter. Wake up. Close quote. You lie, son. Color does matter. You just said it. You wouldn't say something so ignorant as calling a black woman a bulldog.
And the 2019 segment of the year is from the September 7th, 2019 episode, the Oakland Raiders Antonio Brown timeline.
This next guest is a great friend of mine and has been a part of this show for the last 2 years. He has returned, and we couldn't be happier. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Why Not Sports and The Flagrant 2, author and podcast host, D. Murph.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Are y'all ready? No. Are you ready for 2020 VIP honors? Definitely excited. Definitely excited to be back. Sports and excitement, they go together. We get overjoyed when a big play happens, like a breakaway dunk or even a grand slam. We get angry when our team just falls short of victory, or if they are on the wrong end of a bad ruling. We get motivated by a quarterback throwing for over 400 yards, a 40-point triple-double, or a hat trick. And we want to tell the whole world about it. Passion is at the center of sports. The nominees of Going In of the Year are, from the February 2nd, 2019 episode, Luke Walton sits LeBron James due to load management.
LeBron set out a month. This past week, he triumphantly returned in a, quote, road, close quote, game against the Clippers. So he plays against the Clippers. He does a good job. 24 points, 14 boards, 9 assists. And the Lakers win the game. The next game would be against the Warriors, and LeBron James is not suiting up.
From the March 16th, 2019 episode, the Giants trade Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns.
Show of hands, VIP. Who of you thought that Odell Beckham Jr. was going to be a Cleveland Brown by 2019? Okay, I'm waiting. Raise your hand. One of you raise your hand. That's what I thought. I can't even raise my hand with that either.
From the August 24th, 2019 episode, the NFL preseason is under a microscope.
You see, this is where greed gets a hold of you. You have a product that you got to protect, NFL owners. You know this better than me because they earn all of you at least $250 million a year. So you best believe that you have to protect your interests. So you can't have these ridiculous, inane, stupid fields that are ill-prepared, and you just throw your players on the field like their product saying, okay, we got a game to sell.
From the October 19th, 2019 episode, referees cheat the Lions out of a victory.
Defensive end for the Lions, Trey Flowers, was flagged for his first hands to the face penalty. Then the very last drive, Flowers was flagged again for a hands to the face penalty. That kept that drive going, which made a possible long field goal turn into a chip shot. Game, set, match. Everybody in Green Bay goes home happy.
From the November 9th, 2019 episode, the Nationals visit the White House.
Forget party affiliation, forget political affiliation, just go there because the White House wants to honor your achievement. It's just that simple. It isn't political, it is about your accolade, your accomplishment.
All right, y'all. This is what y'all been waiting for. Y'all ready? Can I get a drum roll? There we go. And the 2019 Going In of the Year is... From the November 9th, 2019 episode, the Nationals visit the White House.
Antonio Clown Brown. The act is old. I'm sorry. The act is absolutely old. If it's not this, then it's you videotaping a private celebration with your team after you win a playoff game in the AFC divisional round saying, we're the greatest. We're the greatest. We're the greatest. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. Acting as though you're high. And it was just nothing but that. You just panning from right to left for 10 minutes. If it's not that, then it's the elaborate entrances to every spring training, every training camp session that you have before you start the season. Now that I applaud you for, because it's interesting and it breaks the monotony of the season between when training camp begins and when the regular season starts, which is a 6-week window. If it's not that, then it's you hop behind the wheel and you go 100 miles an hour acting as though you have a lead foot and you crash. If it's not that, then you pick and choose your moments as to when you're going to practice. If it's not that, then with 5 receptions for 80 yards, you throw a temper tantrum because your quarterback at the time, Ben Roethlisberger, doesn't throw to you. If it's not that, then you have an issue with your other wide receiver actually producing just as well as you are, and he's producing just as well as you are because people target you. And if it's not that, then it's you get tired of it all and you act like you're a pimp wearing a fur coat, a mink fur coat on the sideline, not a jersey, not the team's colors, not a team warm-up, no. And not a team jacket. No, you wear a freaking mink coat on the sideline. And if it's not that, you dye what I'm thinking you are dark brown in hair color. You dye your dark brown mustache blonde. All of these, whoa, look at me. Attention on me. All is on me. Attention grabbing things gets old.
Coming up next, a touching tribute to the other voice of Cole Sportz. And later, who is this year's champion in the sports world? Plus, who will walk away with the VIP of the year? But coming up next, the Upon Further Review of the Year Award. You've tuned in to the 4th annual VIP Honors.
Andrew Rappaport's Rap Report is a podcast providing biblical interpretations and applications. It is a ministry of Striving for Eternity and part of the Christian podcast community. We provide a biblical view of cultural events, discuss how to apply God's Word to the Christian life, address issues that concern the church, and we even take some time to offer a correct understanding of those commonly misinterpreted passages of Scripture. You will hear from great guests like Justin Peters, Todd Friel, J. Warren Wallace, and Gabe Hughes. Andrew has the Rap Report Daily, which is a 2-minute Monday through Friday podcast, and then the longer Rap Report podcast for more content. Subscribe to both today by searching for Rap Report on any podcast app, spelled RAPP Report, or click the podcast link at strivingforeternity.org.
Are you just watching?
Do you enjoy watching movies?
The special effects, the interesting characters, the great stories.
There's a lot to enjoy that comes out of Hollywood, but sometimes it's best to approach secular media with a healthy dose of critical thinking.
Join me, E. Franklin,
and Tim Martin
as we discuss our favorite movies
and share critical thinking for the entertained Christian.
So visit areyoujustwatching.com to subscribe.
And don't just watch.
Jay-Z. It's The Rock. Throw the diamond sign up, baby. Oh, B. I was just them girls. I was going to come right back. Robert Kraft. Well, I'm all about the young black men that rise up and do well. I have on the roster of my friends, Rick Ross and Cardi B. I rock with them.
Mr. Kraft, Your royal penis has been cleaned.
Why, thank you. Gerald Jones.
Jason, how many times I have to tell you, stop sleeping on the sideline? Coach the team the way I told you to coach. Coach the team the way you supposed to coach them. I paid that bum Zeke Elliott $90 million. He shouldn't get 20 carries for 40 yards in the game. Light a fire under it now. Come on, stop with the clapping crap. Oh, Colin Kaepernick? I don't need that on my team. I already got a quarterback. I already got a black quarterback at that. He does a good salsa.
Roger Goodell.
Well, we're going to be faithful to the process and to the system. We don't want to turn away people no matter what they do, how they do business. We are about the greatest talent to go on the gridiron. That is what we're about.
Hey. We don't want that player on our team.
Oh, well, actually, we're about that, but when the owners speak, I gotta listen, and I gotta basically kowtow and kiss their butt.
Colin Kaepernick.
I'm here, the NFL. You on here. You all gotta stop running from the truth. Stop running from the people. All lives matter. It's not about that. It's about Black Lives Matter, and I know my rights to the youth. I serve the community. I do everything possible to be a responsible citizen on this country soil. And I'm about police brutality as well.
Mr. Kaepernick, are you about getting a job?
Power to the people.
Star in this absolute travesty and sham of a soap opera as the BS turns.
Ladies and gentlemen, the co-owner of the Breaks Media Network, podcast and entrepreneur, CEO Hayes.
It's a pleasure to be here among you all, and it has been a momentous night so far. It's been a wonderful ride during these 4 years. However, some of us have departed along the way. One of the greatest VIPs of Cole Sports, George W. Real, or Spike, was a powerful voice to the show. The West Virginia native called Pittsburgh home and founded Rockefeller USA, an advertising agency in the western Pennsylvania area. He had a love of technology, politics, sports, and voice. He voiced over hundreds of commercials, dozens of radio shows, and countless podcasts. His velvet tones always begin and end every episode of the classiest sports show on the planet. He is survived by his son, his daughter, 2 brothers, 3 sisters, 6 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild, many other family members, and his love, Crystal. Spike's heart was golden as his voice, and his passion to serve his community was only topped by his willingness to be a friend to everyone he knew. Spike passed away on May 17th of this year. However, Spike will always live in eternity as Cole Sports honors one of the most treasured VIPs in the history of the brand and program. George Spike Real, voiceover artist, politician, and entrepreneur, went onward to heaven at the age of 62. From all of us at Cole Sports, thank you for being a golden voice, a golden heart, and a golden human being. You were gone too soon, but you will live on forever in our hearts, forever.
You can see our next guest reporting on the sidelines at a Mystics, Wizards, or Washington NFL franchise game. She calls DC home, but her heart belongs to Duval. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacksonville's own and DC residing reporter, writer, and entrepreneur. Oh, did I fail to mention she's a public relations consultant? Miss Karita Parks.
They represent the best of us. It is in their preparation, their mental focus, their practice. Yes, I'm talking about practice. But what we see on the field and even off it is a total reflection of the work these individuals did as human beings. It can be achieving something that's never been done before, or rising above their own circumstances, or ultimately showing the heart athletes possess before taking their first step on their chosen field of competition. Their excellence inspires us all. The nominees of Champions Personified of the Year are, from the April 20th, 2019 episode, Tiger Woods wins the 2019 Masters.
And so here we are, the Sunday of the Masters. And it looks all good on the front nine for Maresca. Looks like he's holding him off. And then an errant shot from the tee opened the door for the master of the Masters. Tiger pounced on it, and history was made 6 holes later.
From the September 7th, 2019 episode, Coco Gauff and Naomi Osaka show sisterly love.
See, this is a masterclass in what sisterhood looks like. Gentlemen, don't hate on it, and don't demean it. Don't diminish it. And ladies, take your bow and celebrate this, because this is not an exception. This is truly the norm. But you have 2 outstanding world-class athletes who are showing the way for what powerful sisterhood really looks like.
From the October 26th, 2019 episode, D'Angelo Williams sponsors over 500 mammograms.
So I will open this invitation to you, D'Angelo, if you're listening. Anytime, any place, my brother, I would like for you to come on either this show or any platform that I have. And I would love to talk to you about this, because it is guys like you. It is supporters like you. It is advocates like you that helped my mother and my grandmother not just survive, but thrive.
From the November 2nd, 2019 episode, Washington Nationals complete championship fight.
So he hits a line shot in the right field, and the bases were juiced full of Nationals. The ball gets underneath the right fielder's glove, and the other 2 runs go to score. And so a 3-1 deficit turns into a 4-3 lead. And you would have thought at the end of that inning, Nationals Park was celebrating a world championship. Well, little did we all know that 3 weeks later, that same stadium would.
From the December 14th, 2019 episode, the long, winding road of Joe Burrow ends with the Heisman.
Burrow becomes only the second player in LSU history to win the Heisman Trophy, the first being Billy Cannon, and he did that 60 years prior. And the thing is, Burrow was not even on anybody's lips or lists as a Heisman Trophy candidate, let alone winner.
And the 2019 Champions Personified of the Year is... From the September 7th, 2019 episode, Coco Gauff and Naomi Osaka show sisterly love.
Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Change the Subject and co-owner of the Breaks Media Network, podcaster and entrepreneur, BJ.
We hear all about the silly things in sports. We also get a glimpse at the ugly side of the industry with arrests and scandals. People are so quick to say, stick to sports, without giving it a moment's thought. However, there is a serious side to it all. The world has changed and can be influenced today by sports. It is okay to take a critical look at how the athletic field operates. After all, it gives us a better understanding of what we enjoy and even take for granted. The nominees of Upon Further Review of the Year are: from the January 19th, 2019 episode, Does the NHL Need Big Market Wins?
But you got exciting teams like them, like the team in Columbus, like the Bruins. I mean, you have teams that are good, and you have a sport that seems to be teeming with excitement. The problem is you need to have your stalwart franchises to make the product great.
From the February 16th, 2019 episode, the NFL Colin Kaepernick legal war is over.
So VIP, Kaepernick didn't sell out. He was the biggest winner of us all because he said the NFL was colluding. They settled, so that means he was right. You have to face that. Kaepernick was right. Don't claim it was all about the money. But a big part of it was. Just that simple.
From the March 9th, 2019 episode, Fraudulent Rape Charges. Should false accusers be punished?
So back in 2002, Juanetta Gibson, and she was then 15, accused Banks of raping her then. Now, before all these charges were levied on him, Banks was a star middle linebacker at Long Beach Polytechnic, verbally committed to a full scholarship at USC, but all of that went to pieces because he spent 5 years in jail and then spent 5 years on parole when he was mandated to register as a sex offender. And that was before all the charges were cleared off his books and exonerated in 2012.
From the April 6th, 2019 episode, Nipsey Hussle and the NBA.
Players grew up in that. Now they're making their millions and they want to pour back, but they get that advice. Don't go back there. That element will pull you back down. It will suck you back down. And Nipsey was strong enough to where that element didn't suck him back down. That's what made him so special. The elements didn't suck him down. He rose in spite of it. Unfortunately, with toxic masculinity winning again, a bright life gets snuffed before it could really shine and prosper.
From the November 30th, 2019 episode, Lamar Jackson, the NFL 2019 MVP frontrunner.
And so this guy, number 8, who played in University of Louisville, wowed people with his athleticism, wowed people with the arm strength, didn't wow him as much with the arm accuracy. And a former GM by the name of Bill Polian said that this guy, talking about Jackson, should not be a quarterback. He should be a wide receiver. He has the build for one. 6'2.5", 210 pounds. He's a wide receiver. He is not a quarterback. Mind you, Deshaun Watson, the quarterback of the Texans, 6'3", 215 pounds.
And the 2019 upon further review of the year is from the April 6, 2019 episode, Nipsey Hussle and the NBA.
Vontaze Burfict was ejected from last Sunday's game against the Colts after he lowered his helmet for a late hit to the head of the tight end for the Colts, Jack Doyle. Now, the play drew a 15-yard penalty for unnecessary roughness. The officials reviewed the play even further, and they put it under further review, and they concluded that Burfict should be ejected. Burfict. He has been suspended for actions like these and also actions like hitting players below the knees and rolling on their knees 10 times in his 8-year career. He has been fined 13 times for similar acts. Oh, and how did he leave Lucas Oil Stadium's field? He left it to, of course, a cascade of boos, and he blew kisses to the crowd. Ignorance. You should never be that ignorant. Never. However, that is what we're suffering here. We're suffering from a player who seems to not get it. Well, hopefully you can get this, Mr. Burfict. You, sir, are a danger to the game, to the players, to the league, to the fan base, and to yourself.
Who will walk away with the Dolt of the Year? And who will take the Skit of the Year? But coming up next, the VIP of the Year Award. The 4th annual VIP honors will continue.
That's the sound of stroganoff cooking on the stove.
Smells fantastic, doesn't it?
On the Truce podcast, we made stroganoff to help us tell the story of the Romanovs, the last czars of Russia, and how their murder changed modern Christianity.
I will resist the puns, but to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm stroganoff.
Oh boy.
Anyways, sorry.
Oh boy. Truce explores our shared history and the stuff that is kind of glommed onto the gospel. How do pyramid schemes target Christians? When did the church first get involved in politics? Are we really all called to be leaders? And yes, sometimes we make stroganoff to talk about Russian history.
I'm glad you guys are making puns.
Oh boy. It's going to be a long night, isn't it?
Subscribe to Truce, that's TRUCE, anywhere you get podcasts, or at trucepodcast.com.
From the makers of The Clapper, do you have an annoying Cowboys fan that is always clapping it up for their team? Well, we have the perfect product for you, and it comes via Jason Garrett.
All right, man, let's go. Yeah, let's do it.
The Jason Garrett Clapper. Clap on. Clap off. Jason Garrett Clapper. Yes. Any annoying Cowboys fan will be stopped in their tracks. Hold
Yes.
up. Get them, boys.
Hey!
Oh, Lord. How many rings? Look at these 5 rings.
Ooh, that. I'm telling
Jewelry.
you. 5.
Oh, Lord. And it doesn't just work on fans. It also works on fellow Cowboys.
That's right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Prescott back to
Yeah,
pass.
let's score that
It is
touchdown.
intercepted.
Interception.
And
What are you
returning it
doing?
30,
Tackle.
the 25, the 20,
my
the
goodness.
15, the 10, the 5.
Why is the whole team sleeping?
Touchdown. And all 11 Cowboys are out on the field.
And it doesn't just work on players or fans. It also works with the owner.
Jasen, I told you. Get them players on the field acting right. Get them acting right. I'm telling you, I'm going to fire you.
That's right. And as an added bonus, if you want them to exit the playoffs, everybody clap in unison and the Cowboys will fold like a deck of cards. Clap on! Clap off! Jasen Garrett, the clapper. At all stores right now. I love this product. I'm telling you this. This next guest is, quite frankly, one of the kindest human beings I have ever met. I value every time we get a chance to connect, and tonight is no different. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Forgotten News podcast host and attorney, Jim Goodluck.
Hello everyone, my name is Jim, and I am the creator, producer, and co-host of the Forgotten News podcast. I truly appreciate being invited to be the presenter of the award for VIP of the Year for the Cole Sportz podcast. This show, Cole Sportz, is more than just the personality, the skits, the banter, the serious hot takes, and the fun of sports. It's about connection. And ultimately, it's about connecting with you. Most shows call their followers fans, and that's fine for them. But since this show does things in a dignified manner, we consider those who follow the Cole Sportz podcast as VIPs. And for that reason, you are all very important people. However, this is the time to recognize one particular VIP. This person exemplifies what it means to be loyal, dedicated, passionate, respectful, and, most importantly, a quality human being. The Cole Sportz brand is absolutely thrilled to shine the light on one of the most important people to the success of this program. Alongside Blake Morgan and Damon Eason, this individual has stood out from the rest. And it is the complete pleasure of myself and the Cole Sportz podcast to award this honor to the most important VIP of the year 2019. And so, with all of that being said, the award for the 2019 VIP of the year goes to Sean Gaudier.
Drake. Now, Mr. Drake decided to take the form of the President of these United States when he wanted to just simply say something roasting, and he took to Twitter. Now, I'm not talking about President Trump. I'm talking about Mr. Rob Drake, one of the Major League umpires of the MLB. And so Wednesday, this was leaked out. The fact that he tweeted that he was going to buy an assault rifle, quote, because if you impeach my president this way, you will have another civil war. Hashtag MAGA 2020. Close quote. You are an official. Normally, when you're put in that position, you are supposedly a sober-minded thinking person. Normally, you would actually have professionalism as one of the top uppermost things that you are about. So why would you take to your phone or go to your computer, type on the Twitter that you would buy a gun and then root for a civil war? Do you understand the ramifications of rooting for people dying in the street? No, you don't. Well, let me tell you how it is. Go to any of these inner cities and look at how people are getting murdered, or as they say on the street, murked. Look at how they're getting gunned down and mowed down, whether it's by citizens or police. Look at that. And that is how a civil war looks. You don't want that, son. You don't want that smoke. So take that smoke back and shut up. Don't ever say anything that inane, that stupid, that ridiculous, that trite, and that dismissive about these United States ever again.
Fourth annual VIP honors will continue.
Hey, I'm Joel.
Hey, this is Troy. Have you ever thought about how many sermons have never been listened to because they were never recorded because they came out before recordings?
On our podcast, Revive Thoughts, we take the roughly 1900 years of sermons and try to bring them back to life. We talk about the history, we talk about the setting, and every week we have a different speaker deliver these sermons for us to listen to once again.
So this is your chance to listen to sermons by people like Calvin, by people like Spurgeon, by people like Knox, and maybe some people you've never heard of like Johann Tauler or Alexander White.
Let us live and move and have our being and deal with men as if a dying, risen intercede.
See poor Lazarus in his full frightening misery, and behind him Christ.
The hand cannot alone deliver man. The body must cooperate.
You can find Revive Thoughts on any podcast app or player that you have, and at revivethoughts.com. We hope you learn something new and grow closer to God.
Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Mocha Minutes podcast, Ms. Stephanie Williams.
Sometimes you just gotta laugh. Cole Sportz talks about the serious subjects with a passion. The show gives its props to those who deserve it. Champions are rewarded. Athletes get their shine. Passion is celebrated. And then there are those moments where you must laugh. There are those moments you must poke fun at the ridiculousness sports can bring at times. Throughout the show, you have heard the various parodies of different sporting events and figures throughout 2019. You are also aware that, wait for it, Cole Sportz is not above expressing itself through the vehicle of comedy. After all, laughter is truly the best medicine. The nominees of Skit of the Year are from the February 23rd, 2019 episode, Robert Kraft receives ownership intimacy. From the March 9th, 2019 episode, Mark Cuban pitches on Shark Tank. From the March 30th, 2019 episode, the Capitals go to Washington. From the November 23rd, 2019 episode, Jay-Z, Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, Colin Kaepernick star in as the BS Turns. From the November 30th, 2019 episode, the Jasen Garrett Clapper. And the 2019 Skit of the Year is from the November 30th, 2019 episode, the Jasen Garrett Clapper.
You're at fault, young man. You're 23 years old. That's not how you're supposed to handle yourself as a man. Get angry? Yeah. But be at a place where you are striking someone, in this case, who's not equally as protected as you are. There's a little bit of cowardice that's there. And I know that you had all of these testosterone things run rampant throughout you. I get it. I know it. I understand it. Been there. But you can't let it overtake you like it did. You can't do that, Miles. Everything that I've heard about you has been you're a wonderful stand-up guy. But everything I'm seeing about you on this field is not so good. And now you have this as an exclamation point. And unfortunately for many people who did not know you, now I knew you long before this incident, but many people who did not know your name will only think of you as, oh yeah, that's the guy who decided to bash the quarterback of the Steelers over the head, and the quarterback of the Steelers did not have a helmet on his head. Listen to these words I'm about to tell you, young man. This is when you truly have to be a man. A man is not basically when you blow out the candles for the 21st time on your birthday. A man is when you make a mistake. Because you made a mistake. You stand up for yourself. You atone for that mistake. You repent for that mistake. And you grow to be stronger because of it. And you turn that mistake into a lesson. So I hope, I pray, I sincerely wish that you take this incident that happened November 14th, 2019, with 8 seconds to go, game 10 of the 2019 regular season in the NFL, 100th year, I hope you take this, learn from it, grow from it, and be a better man because of it. Because I guarantee you, you're going to hear so many people say you are this all the time. I don't think you are that. Prove me right, Miles.
Coming up next, who will take away the Dolt of the Year? You've tuned in to the 4th Annual VIP Honors.
If you want sports news that's real, if you want sports brought to you with passion and excitement, then tune into Championship Circle, found on Spotify, iTunes, sportstalkchannel.com, and any other sports platform, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time with your host, Cordell Bowser. Check it out. Championship Circle. Sports real and raw.
Our final guest has the voice which makes you want to hear him read the phone book. He was a former host of the More Gooder Than podcast, and when I heard him return to podcasting, I was so excited. Along with his wife, who's also strong on the mic in her own right, they bring the positive side to life in I Like to Like Things. Well, I like this person. Ladies and gentlemen, podcast host, a VIP, and a dear friend, Chris Great.
Athletes, umpires, doctors, owners, Olympians, journalists. It doesn't matter who is on the list. All are worthy of this dishonor. Past winners include Ryan Lochte, Jason Whitlock, and Larry Nasser. This year, a bunch of candidates fought valiantly in their misdeeds to earn this distinction. In this broadcast, you have witnessed the nominees and the reasons why they earned the name of Dolt. If the past winners of this award are any indication, this year's winner has a lot to live up. Excuse me, I mean live down to. Now, it is time to award the person who truly deserves the award. The nominees of Dolt of the Year are Tristan Thompson, Antonio Brown, Vontez Burfict, Rob Drake, Miles Garrett, and the 2019 Dolt of the Year is Antonio Brown.
Did you have a good time? Yeah, good. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. And if you want more of what we have to offer, don't be a stranger. Just go to CoSportsWithAZ.com and catch all of the hijinks. We're also on all major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts. And you can also catch us Monday through Friday with On the Daily. If you're listening to us via radio, we thank you. For those who want to hear us on the air, go to rtfsportsnetwork.com and catch us Monday through Saturday. Now, if you want to catch all of the stuff, like from Patreon to saying it with your chest, or to write to me through email, or to hear other things that I do, or hear how I am on other shows, you can go to CoSportsWithAZ.com. All of that is there as well. And remember, as I always end, it doesn't matter where you listen to me, how you listen to me, or when you do. Just do these 3 simple things. Love yourself with your whole heart. Tell a friend to tell a friend about this particular program, and enjoy the content. On behalf of all the presenters, the red carpet hosts, and those working behind the scenes, and even those who actually sent in commercials for this program, and for the intelligent sportsmen and women all around the world, I'm Cole Johnson, and this is... Sports. See you on the red carpet in a few minutes. And until next year, good night, everybody.
Wonder when Spider-Man goes to the bathroom if the toilet paper sticks to his fingers?
Do you ever wonder why Superman wears his underwear outside of his pants?
My name is Imran.
My name is Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the Nerd.
And we're your hosts for the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we sometimes try to attempt to answer these questions.
This is a full spoiler podcast, and we swear a lot.
Check it out for awesome geek news, interviews, and comic book reviews. Visit jockandnerd.com. We are your superhero TV, movies, and comic book culture curators.
Boom.
Jockandnerd.com. Jock and Nerd.
You have got to be kidding me. It is over already. Wow, what a fun time had by all. The 4th anniversary of Cole Sportz is now officially in the books, and man, was it great. I'm Renee Washington, host of Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington, ESPN and Fox Sports reporter as well. And Kelsey, I think I need to catch my breath after all that.
And I'm Kelsey Nelson. I don't know how much I'm going to help because I'm still recovering myself.
Nothing was off limits. I mean, nothing. I attended this event, and I didn't think I was going to see, of all things, a Donald Trump impersonator.
And he was too much.
Yes, he was. We are now in the post-game, so to speak. We're seeing people file out of the theater, and they were not disappointed.
No, they weren't. We laughed, we got our passions out, we cried, we cheered, and even booed. I didn't think we would enjoy this experience as a sporting event at an award show.
But that's exactly what we got. I mean, what else stood out for you?
The Jameis Winston joke was too funny, and how Cole tied all these sporting events with pop culture and politics. Girl, I'm still amazed.
I have to say, the tribute was touching. Who knew the voice that leads in and fades out of Cole Sportz passed away? Wow, but it was a touching tribute.
I also loved to see the women represent as well. Seeing BJ, Stephanie, and Karita present were the highlights.
The same with me. Wait a minute, it looks like the man of the hour is walking towards us. Cole Johnson, the man behind all of this production. It is a pleasure to talk with you, Cole.
Kelsey, Renee, The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.
So, Cole, you have done 4 award shows, but this is the 3rd time you've done it like this. How does it feel? Is it easier to produce? Is it harder? I mean, how did you pull it all off?
It's easier in some respects. Quite frankly, it's harder than others. Look, I can honestly say that in the preparation of this year, I was determined to have it be the best experience yet. After the 2nd anniversary show, I knew I was onto something. Now, last year was better, but I still felt like I left a lot on the table in terms of preparation and production. This year, I seriously could not have had it go better than it did. I'm astounded by it all.
Now that you've done this show for 4 years, how does it feel to create a product which has longevity?
It feels great. Both you ladies know. You have podcasts and radio shows yourselves. I'm sure you've had those moments where you've just asked yourself, am I reaching people? It seems like the only audience member is me. Then I have nights like tonight, staring at 2 of my fellow colleagues, and I realize that I do have a voice, and I'm not speaking in an echo chamber. Now, if you were to say to me, you'd pull off an annual award show back in 2016, I would have laughed in your face, man.
What stood out to you during this event? I mean, what really spoke to you tonight?
Wow. That's a tough question. I think above hearing some of my past episodes of 2019, beyond seeing people present, beyond the monologue, it's having wonderful individuals like you, Renee, and you, Kelsey, be a part of this extravaganza. I can visualize how the show is going to go, but the truth is, when it all comes together right, the reality always seems to be better than the vision. After last year's show, I said I wanted to have more of a woman presence on the award show. I wanted to have women who were just as strong in this field as I was, and I wanted one to host a red carpet event. Well, I didn't get one, I got 2, and I was blessed to have you both. And I couldn't have had 2 better hosts than the both of you.
Why, thank you, Cole. I'm sure I speak for Renee when I say we truly do appreciate that.
You're welcome. And thank you both.
Speaking of the presenters, how do you select them? I mean, talk about what goes into who decides what.
This whole show is a testament to how blessed of a man I am. Take, for example, Ben Southern III. I mean, he and I go back 3 years, and he's an amazing host in his own right. He has a warm heart. Here's BS3 Sportz, and it's morphed into the BS3 Radio Network. I mean, I love what he's done over the years. He understands me well, and that's my brother in Christ. I gotta, big up a brother like that. VJ is that sister everybody needs in their life. She's willing to help, ready to crack a joke at any moment, but is knowledgeable about so many different things. And she's been a presenter before, and for her to be here again, beyond thrilled, beyond honored. And then here's another brother in Christ, and D. Murph. I mean, that's my boy right there. 3 years of solid brotherhood. He's been a part of the last 3 VIP honors, and he keeps knocking them out the park. I mean, I'm already a huge fan of his brand. Been one before I even met the guy. And look, shout out to his boy, his partner in Why Not Sports, Big Roy. I mean, they just do big things. When it comes to Hayes, that's our business partner. I got a chance to see him blossom into the voice he's becoming in our circle. And man, that voice is powerful. His Breaks Media Network, I mean, it was something that I enjoyed as a fan last year. Now I am 1/4 of its engine this year. So I totally appreciate him and what he's done in this short time that we've known each other. Karita, what can I say about Karita? I mean, I love seeing someone who knows their stuff. I don't care what gender you are. And seeing her, it's wonderful. I mean, she's just that kind of woman who is stylish and professional in covering so many different teams, the Mystics, the Wizards, the Washington NFL franchise, and even other teams when she gets a chance. It reminds me, I need to get a couple of PR tips from her. BJ. that dude is a supernova. I mean, that dude is an absolute star, shooting so bright. It is ridiculous. Deep thinker, has a heart for people. He just wants to make the world better, and you feel that energy. You want to talk about fast friends? I didn't even know him last year. Now we're business partners and brothers in the podcasting game. And then on top of it, he's extremely creative. And really, he's just scratching the surface. Change the subject? I mean, man, woman, child, all parties need to listen to that show. He's phenomenal. I mean, Jim, laid back, unassuming guy. I love him. I really do. And what I love most about him is that he has a knowledge for the truth. And the tie with him and me is we're both history buffs. And he has a journalistic spirit, like I do. He wants to get to the truth of things. And I've learned a lot from his Forgotten News podcast, and I wanted to make sure that he wasn't forgotten. We actually need more people, not just in the podcast sphere, but in life itself, like him. Stephanie. Man, oh man. She provides such a safe space on her show and off her show. And she's just being herself. That's the biggest gift of them all. Interviewing her, being on her show. I mean, it's just a thrill to listen to her thoughts on Mocha Minutes. I call it, catharsis central. I mean, when you get on her show, you just get the feeling of I can release and be me on the mic. But her sense of humor has always been wonderful. I always get a chance to laugh, belly laugh a couple times whenever I listen to her, or even the conversations that we have. The moment I saw the nominees for this year's Skit of the Year, I knew I had to ask her to do this one. Then Mr. I Can Read the Phone Book, and I just enjoy how the tenor of his voice sounds, Mr. Chris Brayton. And he's one of the ultimate VIPs as well. I mean, talk about a gift that just keeps on giving. I mean, and then he has a wonderful show. I Like to Like Things, extraordinary host. I've been a fan from afar, but I'm glad I can take the time to say he's awesome. I think this is, year number 2 for him? And it's just hard to keep him away from the celebration. Sorry. I must give people their roses while they can still smell them. God, they were great.
That's quite all right. We totally understand. Now you also decided to get a voice person to move the show along. How was that for you?
Man, I love Brian Snow. He is an extraordinarily talented man. His heart is even bigger than his talent. I wanted him to present firstly, but when I had a chance to really think about it, I said, no. He's meant for a bigger role. So I asked him to narrate the show. He said yes. And he knocked it completely out the park. I expect nothing less coming from the man in charge of Snowman in the Morning. It added a dimension that I thought the show lacked, and he filled it beautifully.
Cole Sportz, 4 years in, what's on tap for you?
Well, part of it was to nationally syndicate the show. I mean, I wanted to be like you two ladies, I had a goal of having this happen within 5 years. And if I didn't have it syndicated by this time next year, I would entertain pulling the show altogether. So here I am, a few weeks into year number 5, and that has happened. The amount of growth I've experienced just within the past few months has been earth-shattering. I mean, I'm blown away. Now I must maintain the heart of this show and what made it great from year number 1. I'm still searching to do better. I don't think I'm done. I don't think I've made it. I don't think that I feel as though I could say, yeah, let's just continue doing this the way it is and people will come. I'm still growing and I'm still reaching for more. I still must represent people like you two well, So tonight was an honor, and I'm looking forward to the rest of 2020 or 2020, however you want to say the year. And I have you two to thank for setting the table and bringing class to this event. Man, my heart is full. And I thank you ladies for your contribution, which was massive.
We thank you so very much. Cole Johnson, everyone, the host and creative director of Cole Sportz, joining us. Thank you for this event. I know I really enjoyed myself.
The honor was and still is all mine, ladies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cole. I appreciate it as well.
I appreciate you too very much. Thank you.
And that will wrap things up from the 4th annual VIP Honors. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. For all of us here, for Cole and for Renee, I'm Kelsey Nicole Nelson saying so long. Here's to the 5th annual VIP Honors next year. Goodbye, everyone.
Can't wait for next year. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you for listening. This has been a special presentation of Cole Sportz, the classiest sports show on the planet.